Jamaican youths, we are the best. A brighter future that a feel we interest. Time and skills we invest.
Get your vision, join the mission.
Oh, yeah.
It was Alan Mulally who said, "Leadership is having a compelling vision, a comprehensive plan, relentless implementations, and talented people working together." Greetings, my fellow students across this great nation. My name is Denver Smith, the Vice President of the Students' Council at Clarendon College. I stand before you today vying for the position of National President of the National Secondary Students' Council. You may ask, why Denver for National President? Well, I am passionate, determined, experienced, idealistic, and a well-rounded individual. I believe in advocacy and the rights of my fellow students, and I will ensure that you are represented effectively to any authority in regards to your rights. Being a counselor for the past 5 years, I have become aware of the constant issues affecting us students across this country. But I'm here with solutions that will not just have an impact on this generation, but for generations to come. Firstly, I would like to commend the past and current executives for the hard work they have done, setting a foundation for this organization, the NSSC, to build upon. I, Denver Smith, bring to you the 4 cornerstone issues which will build and elevate this organization. Cornerstone issue number 1, the food systems in schools. I believe, and we all share the same view, that once something is worth doing, it is worth doing properly. It has been a continuing issue in schools where us students have been faced with poor quality and quantity in foods that are provided. I've heard of cases where there is inequality with the lunches provided to PATH students. Aren't we all equal? It is time that action be taken on this matter. I am proposing an island-wide, thorough lunch system investigation. Once elected, this will take place in the first term of the coming school year, where we will hold meetings with stakeholders of the necessary organizations, such as the Ministry of Health, Art Foundation, Jamaica Moves, just to name a few, to highlight and discuss the issue in depth. We will also be instigating teams to conduct research in every high schools, getting your views and concerns through questionnaires, interviews, and observational strategies. We will analyze and formulate a standardized food system that is suitable for us students, one that will have variety, diversity, quality, and proper quantity to satisfy us. This implementation aims to be in effect by the second term or sooner. Cornerstone number 2, male empowerment. There are female pageants, female empowerment initiatives, feminism campaigns, and about 60% of the students graduating from high schools and tertiary institutions are females. Don't get me wrong, females. I believe and I endorse females elevating and empowering themselves. But what about the males? Where are they? I understand the struggles that males have to face to become great. But how many are willing to surpass these struggles? And what can be done for more to become successful? I believe that males can do it. Therefore, once elected, we will start an island-wide male empowerment campaign. This will include termly competitions, sensitizing seminars, and other initiatives which will aid in them becoming the men of tomorrow, making positive changes which can be achieved by getting them in activities that will develop them not just physically, but mentally and spiritually. This will end gang violence, male discrimination, bullying, and underperformance of males in high schools. And in years to come, there will be a significant decrease in the crime rate in our society. Cornerstone issue number 3, the Education Act and Regulation. 1980, 2019. Almost 4 decades since the Education Act and regulations have been written. During this period, haven't there been numerous changes in the society, technologically, socially, and many more allies? There needs to be a revision of the Education Regulation and a reinforcement of aspects of the Education Act for the education system. New policies must be created to give way to a modernized education system, one which facilitates new advancements for the advancing schools and the society. Once elected, working with the executives, we will first have a grand town hall meeting with all high schools across Jamaica, getting all your views on this matter. Then, we will arrange meetings with policymakers highlighting and discussing the issues while incorporating your views. Finally, we will be getting the issue on the political agenda for discussion and revision. The revision and reinforcement of the Education Act and Regulation will solve continuing issues such as investigated expulsions, unfair suspensions, other disciplinary actions that are not a part of the Education Regulation and Act, and most significantly, the exclusiveness of Students' Council in the decision-making in schools. It is time that the NSSC took on more legislative advocacy, as advocating for changes in the education system will have a greater impact on us students, and our presence as an organization will be felt in this country. Finally, cornerstone number 4, which is the chief cornerstone, God Almighty. With God, all things are possible, and I will put Him first as the main leader of this organization, guiding and directing every decision we make, and no doubt we will be successful in all our endeavors. I am not perfect, as no one is, but I have a vision of this organization making a difference in the lives of students. Help me, help you, help us achieve this vision, as I believe responsible students can make the difference. Vote, vote, vote for a man with vision. Vote Denver Smith as your national president. I thank you. Well, violence in the secondary schools have been a continuing issue, and I believe that if more initiatives are put in place for students to be aware of how to handle conflict resolutions, there will be less gang violence and also proper investigation in the backgrounds of the students, because some students' backgrounds influence how they solve certain conflicts. I believe that God has a purpose for all of our lives. And I believe that my purpose is to lead, and to lead especially the youth of this nation. I believe my chances of becoming the next president is up to His decision, that is God Almighty. He has a plan for my life, and I believe that the plan He has is for me to be the next national president. Instead of schools issuing suspensions, what they could do as a correctional method to handle discipline is to send the students to a place or location where they are taught on how to be more disciplined, rather than them staying home and doing nothing. Teaching them that the right concepts, or teach them the right things that will help them to be better incorporated within the school system. The unique value that I would add to the NSSC, if elected as your next president, is education and knowledge. Most local councils aren't aware of the functions of the NSSC and its activities. And I believe that if we give them the opportunity to become educated, for them to advocate for the rights of their fellow students and know how to do so properly, they will be better counselors and better representatives of the Students' Council. And also, I will be presenting myself and other executives, incorporating them within activities focused around local councils so that our presence as the NSSC can be felt by local councils and students, all students. The top priority for the NSSC for the upcoming year should be educating and sensitizing the local councils on how to operate effectively and getting their views and their voices to administration and to the necessary stakeholders for the betterment of their school environments.